and we'll go ahead and start with the handouts. So I'll go ahead and make this transparent, and I'll pull this over there. Well, I got to pull it up first. I'm not used to the way this. I'm used to teaching at AC 137, and everything's, guess what, bass backwards. Everything's the other way around. I'm standing on that side, and the whiteboard is on it, so I'm having to do everything. And I've been teaching down there for 3 years. So when I set up my house, I got a whiteboard in my house. When I set up my house, I set it up the same way. So now I come to this classroom because of y'all, because I couldn't meet downstairs because it was too big of a class, and everything's turned around backwards. So y'all gonna have to excuse me, okay? Y'all don't laugh or anything, or y'all don't talk, or y'all just sit there like Patrick Starr. Is that what y'all do? Whatever. And I have no, why is it doing this? Why don't I have the address bar at the top? Why? I know why, because it's too big. Shoot. Go away. Give me a second. Like I said, it took me a few minutes to get acclimated to this room yesterday, and it's going to take me a few minutes today. So, and I don't know how. Well, that's what I want to pull over there. So I'm going to just get rid of, there we go. All right, so here we go. And I'll pull up, this is 120, right? So 120, I'm just going to go to the Syllabi Handouts. Let's go, where's the 120 Syllabi Handouts? Hopefully y'all got all the handouts, but if not, I'll show you where the other handouts are. And I can't find any of the 120, there we go. And there they are. Of course, I know there's one deadhead in the group that's going to say, oh, I didn't get my emails. I didn't check my emails. So I got 4 other avenues for those deadheads that, you know, this is 2020. It's not 2005. Okay, you're supposed to check your emails before the first day of class. All right, so there's the syllabus, and it looks basically like a syllabus looks. A bunch of bureaucratic words for Columbia, and that's what all those words are. The book, you don't have to buy a book for this class because it's already included in My Labs Plus. Whatever you bring to class is up to you. If you want to bring an old book, if you want to bring a book that was used at Clemson 3 years ago, if you want to buy a new book, if you want to print out the book, I'll show you how to print out the book Thursday. But there's the book, and it comes with access to the ebook here, okay? So I don't care what you bring to class. Get into supplies, but there's the TI 83 Plus or better, TI 83 or better, whatever. We do use that a good bit in Math 120 because, believe it or not, there are some formulas I don't want you to use because they're too tedious. And it just takes up too much time. But I don't want you taking the square root of 25 on a calculator. I do want you, when I tell you, you know, you have too much, takes too much time to do the math, I want you to use the calculator, okay? And that's very rare because in my calculus classes and my algebra classes, I don't want students using calculators. So this is the only class that I pretty much want you to use the calculator. The rest of this stuff is bureaucratic stuff, objectives. Whenever you see the word objective, that usually is for Columbia. So we're going to skip all that and go down to bonus question. There's a bonus question right there. Now, y'all need to write some of these bonus questions down because y'all miss them. Okay, don't write them down. All right, Unit 1 test or unit test, 60 to 80%, 85. Mine are 80. Okay, so homework, 20. And that's pretty much it. We do have a project in here. I do not condone it. It's above my head. It comes from above me. I don't really want to do it. I'm going to give it to you, and y'all going to do it, and I'm going to give you 10%. They want me to do 15 or 20%, but I'm only going to do 10 because I really don't care about it, but that's just me. Okay? So you got a project there. It's going to be 10%. Any questions so far? That is a bonus question, so make sure you know that. 80%, 20%, or 70%, 20%, and 10%. Because I don't ever take off from the homework. I always leave the homework at 20%. So if you got a 100 average on test grades and you don't do any of the homework, then you're going to get a B for the course. I had 2 students last semester try to tell me they didn't know that after grade turning. No, they thought they were going to do autopilot and they were going to do the tests. Okay? You're going to fail the class because you have an Ohio State shirt on, so you're going to fail. I hate to tell you that. My team is Georgia, even though they blow it every year. I graduated with 2 degrees from Clemson. Can't say Clemson with a P because then you're a crazy person. So you have to say it with a Z. But Georgia's my team ever since I was a kid. So Ohio State. I'm not going to get into why I don't like Ohio State because if I get into that, I'll get into weak conferences, which will lead me to Clemson, and I'll offend a lot of people because people actually sacrifice live animals to Clemson. So I don't want to do that. So, but anyway, we won't talk about weak conferences, okay? Anyway, get back to the story. Make sure you write that down because that is a test question. I give you about 10 to 12 bonus questions on the test. Do people miss them? Yes. One of them is right there. The other one is, well, I'll get to that one in just a second, but that's one of them. The most important page of all the handouts is right here. That's the page you want to print out. That's the page you want to have in your notebook. That's the page that you want to refer to. If you're out, if I covered 2.1 today and you're going to be out Thursday, then what do you think I'm going to cover? 2.2. That's how you use the outline. I mean, it's basic, it's not rocket science. Do not go ahead of me because I do take out sections. And if you do, I'm just going to say 8.2 because if I say 3.1, then somebody's going to say, oh, you said skip 3.1. So I'm going to say 8.1. Okay? If you go to 8.1 and you do 8.1, and then when I get to 8.1, I say, you know what, we're not going to cover that. Then you've just done all that work for nothing. So don't go ahead of me. Okay? I'll go ahead and give y'all an assignment, chapter 1 and 2. Those 5 sections in 1 and those 3 sections in 2, y'all are responsible for right now, so you need to start reading them. Okay? That's all reading material. A lot of words, we're going to go over them in class. I'm going to spend probably some of Thursday, or we'll start Tuesday with going through chapter 1 and 2. If you want to see how I do that, go to the YouTube channel and look at last semester, and you'll see how I went through chapter 1 and 2. I'll show you that in just a minute. But that's 20% of your unit 1 test comes from chapter 1 and 2. So that means 80% comes from what? Chapter 3, where all the math is. Capiche? Most important page right there. So if you don't print out any handouts, print this one out because this is the one you go by. And that's the syllabus, pretty much. Ignore that. That's whoever wrote this. They didn't make it generic and they made it dated. So I just copied it. I meant the person that did the syllabus. Okay, so y'all good with that? I do not like. They're gonna have to fix the resolution on this because I can't reach the top. So anyway, I guess I have to just make everything small. All right, so I just haven't got used to this room is all. Maybe after a while I'll get used to it. And this is a brand new projector system. It's different from the one I'm used to, so it's doing things a little bit different also. I'm just trying to make excuses. That's what you do when things don't go your way. You make what? Excuses and blame the Russians. All right, so YouTube, we'll go ahead and look at YouTube and pull that up so you can see it. How to access Hubert's videos. Go to YouTube. I already got that pulled up, I think, somewhere. Now, here, it's not Skype anymore. That's the old Teams. Now it's Teams. I got to change that. But the reason I haven't changed it is because you still have access to Skype also. Skype for Business. Microsoft created Lync, L-Y-N-C-H, I think it was. L-Y-N-C. I can't remember. Back about 3 or 4 years ago. Then they upgraded Lync to Skype for Business. And then they upgraded Skype for Business to Teams. Now, the reason I use Skype for Business and Teams is because it's internally secure with Tri-County Tech. In other words, if I want to find any of y'all, I can just type in your Tri-County Tech email and I can find you. And I can add you to the class. Everybody with me? I can't do that with Zoom because Zoom is not internally secure. Okay, and you gotta, you know, I use Zoom at home when I have to, but because I have to, because the other person is calling me to use it. I don't use Zoom because it's not internally secure. Okay, so just replace the word Skype and Skype for Business because Skype is different. Just replace that with Teams. And this is the same. Nothing changes. And registering on the MyLabs Plus. I do not use Blackboard because it's never up. Anyway, when it is up, I do put my handouts there. I put my handouts there, Teams, MyLabs Plus, and email. So you don't have the excuse of what? I didn't get your handouts. And the best place, the more updated place to get them is Teams, because that's where I put everything. Even if I do an Excel spreadsheet today, I'll put it on Teams. All right? So make sure I have to use Blackboard because Tri-County Tech tries to force everybody to use Blackboard. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but everything you have to do, you have to go through Blackboard. And you'll find out 5 or 6 times during the semester, Blackboard is usually what? Down. And you know when it goes down the most? Anybody want to take a guess? During the week of finals when you need it. Okay, so I don't trust it. All right, so that's going to take care of that. Hubert's class courtesies. I got one rule. I treat students the way I want to be treated. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, I've got something, and I was born with it. I'm sorry, but it's called a sense of, what's it called? It starts with an H. Sense of humor. Okay? Y'all don't have one. I can tell. Some of y'all don't have one. Y'all winged on a pickle. No, I can't see y'all's faces, okay? So I don't know if y'all got a sense of humor or not. Some of y'all hate the world, hate your mama, hate your dog, kick your cat, okay? But if you don't have a sense of humor, please drop, okay? drop to another teacher that doesn't have a sense of humor, okay? Because I have a sense of humor. Now, I don't go on like an idiot all day. I don't do that, okay? But every once in a while, I like to, you know, make students smile or say something funny or try to say something funny. You know, it kind of lightens the environment a little bit. Now, if you want the drill instructor environment, 502 minutes each class of math, then you just go ahead and drop me, okay, please, because I don't want you in here if you want that type of environment, okay? I treat students the way I want to be treated. Anybody in here had me before? I don't recognize any faces. Anybody? Has anybody in here heard of anything or know of anybody that's had me before? All right, give me one word that they said about my class, not about me, because they could call me a bad name, but about my class. Name one word that they said. What? Fun. Imagine that. A classroom that was fun.
I have the same word.
Same words?
Yeah.
What about you? I can't hear you.
Same word.
Lawnmower's going off out there. Anybody else? Nobody? Okay. Well, I have 3 total strangers. I don't know these people. I hadn't paid them. Okay. I'm pretty confident in my classroom of people that's been in my class. Because why? Because of that right there. Now, have you ever met somebody that just hates my class with passion? I'll tell you why they hate my class. 1, they don't have a sense of humor. And 2, they use excuses. Because if you notice, I've already covered one excuse. I didn't get my email. There's 4 other ways. There's 3 other ways. So I cover a lot of your excuses. So, you know, that kind of hinders on some people that likes to use excuses. I'm not going to talk about texting or cell phones because if you do, number 1 rule, you don't have to worry about that. My phone goes off. There's my phone right there. Went off a while ago. No cardio or infarction. Y'all didn't have a cardio infarction. I'm not going to have a cardio infarction. I do ask that if you do get a phone call that you need to answer, just go out into the hallway. Now, some of y'all aren't going to do that. Now, those are called simple ask directions. But some of y'all aren't going to do that. Some of y'all are going to go against the rules, and then you're going to get mad at me because I'm going to call you out on it. Follow the rules. If I get a phone call that I have to answer from my daughter, my mother, or my son, then I will go out into the hallway and I'll answer it because I follow my own rules. Okay? So don't get mad at me if you don't follow the rules. We've got a lot of that problem right now. People not following rules, and then they get mad when they get chastised for not following rules. This is not online class. I think y'all understand that because, but the homework and the tests are online. Attendance. To me, taking attendance in college is useless. But we have to do it because of the bureaucrats. The bureaucrats make us do it. Financial aid makes us do it. I do not drop anybody. Everybody got that? I do not drop anybody. Now, if somebody comes to me and tells me to drop you, financial aid, police department, your mother, father, hospital, somebody has to come to me and say, Hubert, drop Jane Smith. Then I'll drop Jane Smith. But unless somebody tells me to drop you, that's including yourself, I'm not going to drop you. So what grades will compile if you don't do the homework and test? Zeros, you will get F. That's the way college is supposed to be. You're an adult now. You're supposed to take care of your what? Thank you. I appreciate the interaction there. I appreciate that, even though you're from Ohio State. But you know, why do you like Ohio State anyway? Okay, well, that's your problem. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, they're a good team. They just, shut up, Hubert. All right. So there's your thing about attendance. The other thing is supplies. Now this is we used to have problems with deadheads, but you know what we got problems with now? There are NASA engineers coming out of high school now. They know, y'all ever met somebody that knows everything? We've got them now, and usually, no offense guys, they're usually male. At 18 years old, out of high school, they know everything. And they're usually in math class. Some of you might have them in your psychology classes. They've actually got a degree in psychology and they never had a class. And the nursing students, oh my gosh, you got a nursing assistant that's been a nursing assistant for 110 years. They know everything. Wait, some of y'all that are nurses, you're going to see them. Mark my word. Supplies for the class. Pretty self-explanatory. You can bring whatever you want to class. Now, you don't need to bring graphing paper because that's for algebra class, because of the graphing. We don't do much graphing in here. We do a little bit in chapter 5, I think, 4 or 5. Yeah, 4. About slope. So if you want to grab a couple of papers online and print it out, graph paper, bring about 4 or 5 pieces. You know, that's all you need. But I do want you to bring colored pencils or highlighters to class because I do ask you to highlight or circle stuff in colors every once in a while. Okay? And notebook paper, pen or pencil, and you bring your book or printout of the book, and I'll show you how to do that Thursday. And your calculator. Okay? Those of you that have hold on a second. Those of you that have a Droid, I'm sorry, but I can't get rid of this because I can't get it to pull down. And of course, it's Tri-County text page. Anybody got a suggestion? Damn Russians. No, I don't want to stop presenting. I just want you to give me my... Oh, great. It just copied it over here. Oh, well, I can't remember what I was going to do. What was I doing? I can't remember what I was telling y'all now. So let me just go back to... Well, I'm going to go back here. I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, Wabbit EMU. I can't get there because I don't know if y'all can see this. Let me pull this up and drag it. Those of you with a Droid calculator, well, it doesn't show up here, but Wabbit EMU, WABBIT EMU, no dots, no anything, Wabbit EMU. You can get a calculator like this on your Droid phone. Okay, those of you that have Apple phones, you know the Apple process, anything extra costs, so you have to buy it. All right, but the Droid, if you go to Wabbit EMU, WABBIT EMU, and you can download a TIA 3 or better on your phone. Okay? You're welcome. Thank you, Hubert. You're welcome. This is irritating the crap out of me. I'm sorry, but it's irritating. Any questions about, let me go ahead and open up questions about supplies. Anybody got a question now that I went over that?
Where's the best place to get Untitled?
Wally World, Target, Amazon, doesn't matter. And don't let, if you go to Target or Walmart, don't let some person tell you you have to have this or you have to have that. You just need a TIA 3 or better. I like the TI, the one I like is right here, the TI 84. IT, really? Sorry, this is supposed to be done by IT. There's Wabbit EMU, y'all see it now? Hold on, I gotta drag it over there. I gotta get used to this. Why won't it go over there? Y'all see the Wabbit EMU right there? Okay, that's the one I like. I like the TI-84 Plus because it does a lot of the things that the TI-83 doesn't do, like put extra stuff on the display, extra solutions, extra answers. Do you need the TI-85? No, not really. TI-83 Plus, TI-84 Plus, TI-84, that's pretty much the three that I would kind of hone in on. But if your little brother has a TI-84, beat him up and take it away from him, you know. Oh my gosh, I told you to steal that. Don't go out and spend a fortune. I'd rather you get the app on your phone than go out and spend $125 if this is the only math class you're going to take. Okay? All right, any other questions about, I'll show you how to print out the book via MyLabs Plus. I'll show you that Thursday when we go over that. Any questions on supplies? Okay, that's supplies. I'll give you a little bit about me. This is really moot now because I'll tell you why. I usually do this for two reasons. To give the class a little bit about myself, because I think I've been doing this since the first day I started teaching. Okay, why? Because I believe I've sat through math courses at Tri-County Tech, Anderson College, Greenville Tech, and Clemson. Okay? And there is nothing worse than sitting in a math course or a science course and it's a miserable learning environment. Have you ever sat in a miserable learning environment? Okay? So I try to do everything I can to make it less miserable. Okay? Now there are some students that try to continue to make it miserable. You know, they're weaned on a pickle. But I try to keep it open. I try to interact with students, and I try to, you know, have a sense of humor in the class. And it starts with you knowing a little bit about me. I'm about as Billy Bob as you can get. In other words, I didn't graduate Clemson at 15 years old. I wasn't number one in my class at Westside High School, all right? I had to learn math the hard way, and that's beating your head up against the wall until you understood it. That's how I learned math. Because when I graduated Westside, I couldn't add fractions. And that's not Westside's fault. That's Hubert's fault. Okay, because I was taught how to do it, I just didn't think it was important. And when I tried to get into Tri-County Tech, I couldn't get into regular classes, so I had to start with remedial classes. Okay, so, you know, that I'm not a math person, that's bullcrap. All right, because I wasn't a math person when I graduated high school. So, you know, I think it's important. One of the worst things in a learning environment is you sitting through a class and not knowing your teacher's name at the end of that class. You ever had that happen? That's a miserable class environment. If you sit through a class 1 week and I say, who's teaching that class? And you go, I don't know their name. That's not a good working environment. So that's why I do that. I used to also, the second reason is because of the information. But now, all you have to do now, if I can pull up Teams, all you have to do now, and I'm going to pull this over here if I can, is hit this chat button. Okay. See, I have a question about MyLabs Plus. Ms. Hatton, what's your question about MyLabs Plus? Oh, that was yesterday. Okay, I'm sorry. That's another class. I thought that was this class. All right, this is activity. That shows any activity. Somebody said thank you. And you go to the teams page. This page right here is bulletin board for Math 120-29. This is where you put, y'all can talk to each other. You can ask a question. I wasn't listening in class. What did Hubert say about homework? Okay. Or you can go up here and hit files. Oh my gosh, look at there. Those are the files that I missed because I don't check my email. Now you got them on here. Fall academic calendar. 2 bonus questions are on here. What bonus questions are on here, Hubert? I'll tell you, class. Keep it quiet, please. Last day of class. Write that down. I can't find it. There it is. Last day of class. That's a bonus question. Why do I make that a bonus question? So y'all don't ask it 15 times at the end of the semester. When is exams for this class? December 1st through the 7th. That's your second bonus question. So I've given you 3 bonus questions. Okay? There's 12 on the test, on each test. So that's important. This is your second most important page to print out. Last day to drop classes is when? Wednesday. So tomorrow is the last day to drop classes. So if you're weaned on a pickle, you might want to, drop to another class before tomorrow. Y'all settle down.
Are all the bonus questions the same?
Every single test. I still have people miss. These people procreate too. Next. Oh, let me go back. I'm pulling them up. It doesn't matter. Forwarding an email. You can read that on your own. Let me go back to the files. Let me get out of this, close. Files. I will show y'all this because I guarantee you some of y'all didn't even know to hit that file button up there. That's why I show it to y'all. Locator card just shows you when I'm in my class. Gives you information for me to call me, and like I say, nowadays you just send me a chat on the individual side. I'll show you that just in case. Now I haven't figured out what I'm going to do. My son is at Robert Anderson, and he's going to be doing virtual learning because last semester, summer semester, I was home teaching from 8 o'clock till 2 o'clock. So he said, well, heck, I'll just sign up for virtual teaching. Well, I didn't know I was going to have this class at that time. He didn't know I was going to have an 8 o'clock class. So that starts September the 8th. I don't know what's going to happen after September the 8th. I'm going to try to come here because District 5 says it has to have a guardian or parent present. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to police that. So what I'm thinking is we're going to meet, and at 9:30 or 9:15, 9:20, we're going to cut class, and I'm going to ride home because I'm only 3 minutes away. So I shoot home, and I'll be home for him to have his classes. Everybody understand what I'm talking about? Okay. Or if they are stringent and I have to be there at 8 o'clock, then I'll teach from home and y'all will team in. Now, I don't want to do that. I'm going to use that as a backup. Everybody understand that? Y'all see how I teamed in. Y'all didn't have to. Okay. Miss Richardson, and I can't remember who else, because what did y'all have to do to team in? Just hit accept?
I just turned up the second, the thing that you sent on Teams.
You just clicked on it?
Yes, sir.
That's all you have to do. Now you have to be logged in and you have to read your teams, which some of y'all, I guarantee you, there's 15 people here. About 5 of y'all haven't even read how to get on Teams yet. Okay, but It's real simple, okay? So, and you see exactly, now when I put the whiteboard up, I'll write on the whiteboard. I haven't done that yet. Probably won't do that till we get into math, but I'll get on the whiteboard and I'll start writing, and everything I write, you will see on the whiteboard. Okay? So I don't know what's going to happen after September 8th. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to find out. I'll keep y'all posted via each class as we get into September, because I know the district will. Right now, I'm getting my information from a 13-year-old teenage boy, okay? So chances are I'm only getting like 20% of the information, okay? All right, next. Where's the close button? And that's the 4 that I sent you. Any questions on the handouts? Okay, well, how do you get to YouTube, Hubert? Well, let's go to YouTube. And I'm going to have to pull YouTube from over here. Well, I had YouTube pulled up. There it is. There's YouTube, and when you do a search for Hubert McClure, there's my picture, pink shirt, click on it. Go under my last name, playlist. And there are my courses for the last 6 years. I've been videoing my classes for 6 years. I've been doing tech classes for 3 years. They would not buy me a video cam to do recordings of my class. So I went out and bought a video cam. You go all the way down to the bottom. These down here, these were done with a video cam sitting in the middle of the room on a tripod. Okay? Then I asked for a webcam. When, you know, webcams, you know, the external, they bought me one of those. But anyway, you can find any class you want right here. Now, this is how you use it. Let's say that you want to know a little bit more about how I teach, except for the first day. Then you go into, since this is 120, there's 3 classes from yesterday. I posted those yesterday. Okay? That's my 120-24. Now notice, no, I'm sorry. Why is it doing that? For some reason, I must have hit the 110 button 3 times because it put 3, and these 2 don't have anything, and I'm going to have to delete those 2 because they don't have anything. Do you see this one? It says Math 120-24 and Math 120-29. So today's class, today's recording is going to go in there, and it's going to say first day 120-29. Now, the reason I do that is for 2 reasons. 1 is it saves space, and 2, you can watch the 120-24 and this class in case I go over any different material. You see what I'm saying? Let's say I go over in 120-24, I go over different problems in 1.1 than I go over in your class, and you can see different problems. You see what I'm saying? For the same section. That's why I do that. Now, why do you need to do this? Well, in case you missed, please do not email me and say, Hubert, I missed Wednesday's class. What did we go over? Will you get a reply? Hell to the no. Why will you not get a reply from me? Say that one more time.
You have access to everything you need.
There it is, right there. If you want to find out what I went over yesterday, you go on to 120, 124, 129, and you look up the video. I know you have to actually go and click a button, and you have to actually click on another button. It's a lot of work, I know. How do you find it? Well, you just hit View Full Playlist. And there's yesterday's class. Today's class will go right up under it, and it'll be called Math 120-29, first day. Now, what does it look like on a full class? Well, go to last semester. Right here. and I'd usually put sections. There's the first day. Since it was an hour-and-a-half class, I covered everything the first day. Chapter 1 overview. Chapter 2.1, 2.2. See, I put the sections that I go over. So if y'all want to see how I teach, basically, there it is. Look, Chapter 3. Test review, Unit 1. Test review, Unit 2. That's the different 2 classes. Unit 1, test review. And then start of 4.1. So actually, you don't even need me because I've got this from last semester. Now, a lot of people say, well, how do you we know you're going to teach the same stuff? We all creatures of what? Habit. Now, I may change the numbers and I may pick a different problem, but the content is syllabi content, which doesn't change. Is everybody with me? A lot of students, I have students that's not even my students using these videos. Anybody ever seen these videos before? Anybody ever heard of them? Okay. Some other students, they actually use my videos. Now, I'm not like Con, okay? I don't repeat things 15 times, okay? I appreciate what he's done. He's done a lot of work and he's good, but I don't repeat myself, okay? That's one thing I cannot stand to do, all right? I don't sit there and say, today we're going to go over hyperbolas. Today we're going to go over hyperbolas. This is a hyperbola. This is a hyperbola. I'm not going to say it 4 times, all right? But there's the videos. Any questions on that? So you could actually not come to class and you could do the videos for this class. You could sit at home and do the videos for this class. You see what I'm saying? Oh gosh, shut up. I can't stand to hear myself talk. All right, so there it is. Now remember, I taught from last semester at home, so I used a lot on the document cam, and I didn't get my whiteboard until the last quarter of the semester. And then I had to install it and get all that done, but not a whiteboard, like a smart board with the projector. Okay? Questions on YouTube? Okay, y'all keep it quiet, please. All right, let's go over to let's have some fun. Y'all want to have some fun? Y'all do? Wow, we actually got some people who want to have some fun. Rate my professor. I love going here, except I don't like to look at my own. I can't stand it. So you go, why do you need this? Because if you go on here and you get somebody less than a 2, get the hell out. I'm serious. A lot of you say, well, students come to me and say, I wish I'd have taken your advice. Below a 2, get out. I'm just telling you. Okay? Anybody want to pull somebody up? No, I will not do that. I'm scared to look at them. Anybody? Oh, come on. You don't want to find out about any of your teachers? Okay, you say green? I don't even know who that is. Hold on, stupid pop-ups. There we go. Green. Now you got to see, I'm looking at an angle right here, so I don't know. Mary? No, that's Garen. She don't teach here anymore. Where is it? Okay, so you're okay. What does she teach? She only got 11 ratings. Okay, so she gives clear and precise instruction. 1.0. Now, if they spell cat, K-A-T, and they got one sentence that's 15 sentences long with no punctuation, then chances are you should throw it out, okay? Now, if they have good grammar and they spell good and they use their words right, then chances are they're a pretty good student and you might want to listen to it. You know, I turned in my final exam. I turned in the wrong copy. It was for another class, emailed her instantly. She told me she would grade what I turned in with no exceptions. I even emailed her a copy showing I did it and wasn't lying. I love English, but she does not care about her students. I have no idea who this person is. Ooh, she got a 5.0, so she had a good student or she wrote it herself, one of the two. It was very, very difficult to get a perfect score. She gives very clear and precise instruction and does expect you to follow them. Now, this is the part right here a lot of students don't understand. We expect for you to follow directions. Kind of like your employer. If you don't follow directions, what happens? You get fired. Okay, I know that's a negative word for some people, but fired, termination, that is what happens when you, in the real world, when you don't follow directions. Okay? Miss Green is a very knowledgeable. That's when you see knowledgeable, there's usually a but. Okay? But she does assign a lot of work. Oh my God. Heaven forbid. All right, who's got another one? See, these can be fun. Eps. I don't. You said English, right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes.
She's only got 5 ratings. So she's either new or she don't tell her students about Rate My Professor, which the first one is excusable, the second one's not. But she's got a 4.4. Now, would you take these seriously or would you just read them very carefully? I would read them very carefully because she's only got 5 of them. It looks like to me she's a pretty good teacher. Twice, 2 different English classes and loved both times. Not a full 5 because she grades essays kind of hard. That's not bad. You know why? Because psychology teachers and Western Civ teachers think they're English teachers. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and take History 101 or take Psychology 203 and see if they don't make your papers bleed. Okay? That's from personal experience. I had it at Clemson. They think they're English teachers. I actually had a student last semester. I told her to take her paper, her psychology paper, to her English teacher and have her English teacher grade it. Her English teacher gave her a B on grammar. Guess what she made? A D. Now I know it wasn't content because the pages were like full. I mean, so she showed it to me and I'm like, well, she sent it to me. And I'm like, wow. So if you're taking psychology or history, I always tell my advisees, take history and psychology after you finish English. That's a very true statement. That's a very, if she does grade kind of hard, that's a good thing. Looks like to me she's pretty good, so I'd probably stay in there. But what you don't want like a 1.8. Let's see if we can find a 1.8. Oh, these are hilarious. These right here. Oh my gosh. Awful. Worst teacher I've ever had. I mean, they are hilarious if you read them. She seems to really care and is very nice. She wants you to succeed. On the flip side, this is a very carefully written. You got to read the context of the paragraph. If the paragraph is one run-on sentence and it says she's stupid, then just throw it out the window because it's somebody that's mad wrote it. Okay, but this, on the flip side, her lectures are all over the place, so you basically have to teach yourself. Anybody want to pull one before we stop? Anybody?
What is Ellington?
Ellington? Right here. What does she teach? Well, she's got a 4.0 and 35, so that's not bad at all. Huh? What does she teach? She's a great teacher. She really cares. 4.0. So far, it looks like she's pretty good. Okay, now let me tell you something. Can a class make your semester awful? Yes. And it's called class personality. You can have one class that has a hard teacher, and if the class is a good personality, that class will go by just as fast as, and it will go by. But you can have a bad class personality, and life will suck for that semester because of the personality of the class. If you've got a bunch of people in a class that are winged on a pickle, and they don't interact with the teacher, it's going to be miserable. If you have a class that interacts with the teacher, and I'm not saying it's just for my class, but it sounds like to me, the personality of that class really sucked. And that could be because it was an 8 o'clock class, or it could have been that it met on Fridays, or it could have been, one person in there could have made the whole class. I've had one person destroy a class personality because you ever met somebody that couldn't take a joke, or when they did take a joke, they'd laugh 15 minutes later? They're just socially awkward. This person was socially bass-backwards, okay? This person, nobody would say anything in the class because if you tried to say something funny, this person would just go bonkers. So the class would not even say a word because of one person. And that happens. Anybody ever have a class like that? You do. Class personality is what makes the class go by slow or fast. So I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. So actually, you can go on there and just have some fun with it. It's not vindictive or anything. I don't think I've ever seen anything on there that says this person's a son of a bitch. I don't think I've ever seen that. Or this person hates babies or hates cats, or there's nothing, that gets into the personality. It just basically says the truth. Like I said, you have to read the paragraphs, the quotes carefully. You can't take it, just read the context, okay? All right, any questions so far? Okay, well, I've covered pretty much everything I want to cover today. As far as, I'm going to close this out. As far as questions about anything having to do with class, because I'm going to go over My Labs Plus Thursday, and I'll probably start with Chapter 1 and 2 overview on Monday, or the last part of Thursday, but I doubt very seriously I'll start Thursday with math. I'll probably start. So you've got a week, basically, to read Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And I'll show you how to print that off Thursday. I'm going to open it up right now, and team people that are teaming in, I'm trying to get y'all, let's see if I can get y'all over here where I can see y'all. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get y'all. There we go. Let me see how many people we got in teams. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people on teams. Do y'all have any questions about the class? And do y'all have any questions about the class? You bring whatever you want to, and I'll show you how to print out the textbook by sections. I'll show you how to do that Thursday. Any other questions? I covered everything so well that nobody has any questions about the class. I'm not going to tell you how to, if you need to drop, I can't tell you how to do it. No, I'm just kidding. I hope nobody drops, but I do hope that if you're winged on a pickle, you drop. because I don't want anybody in here destroying the personality of the class. And this right here is driving me bananas. I don't know how to get rid of it. Let me see if I can just hit that. Nope. I can't move it. I can't change the resolution. Oh well. I can't hear you. Say again. All of my tests and homework and everything will be on My Labs Plus. I'll talk about that Thursday, but basically I give y'all 3 attempts on each test. Takes a higher of 3. Why do I give you 3 attempts? Several reasons, but mainly because of those that the cat ate my computer, the lightning hit my house. Let's see, what else? A car ran through my driveway, ran through the den while I was taking the test. Y'all have all kinds of excuses, so I give y'all 3 chances. Takes the highest of 3. I give y'all a week to take the test. Why? Because some of y'all have 4 flat tires.
So you take the highest, you don't average it?
Take the highest. And I give y'all an hour and a half to take a 50-minute test. I give y'all an extra 40 minutes. Why do I do that? Because of excuses. Y'all see a pattern yet? I take care of all your excuses. So if you ever meet somebody that made a 52 in my class, back away from them slowly. Because they're either got stupid all over them, or they're lazy. Or they got put in the hospital for something bad or something, you know, something like that. Anyway, okay? But most of the time, that's happening, you drop the class, or you take it incomplete. Okay? But what I'm trying to say is I give you every opportunity to do well in here. Okay? I don't think those 2 or 3 people that's talked to somebody that's had me, have they ever said that I've been disrespectful to a student, or that I try to make you fail, or I ask questions on the test that I didn't cover, or that I'm unprofessional? Did any of them say that? Okay? I'm very fair to the student. Now, there are some students that don't like me for my hair color, the shirt I'm wearing. To me, I can't make everybody happy. But I know one thing, over the last 25 years, do you know how many people I've actually thrown out of my classroom? 3. And they were all guys that had overcompensation issues. That's all I'll say. They had issues. Okay? 3. 25 years. 3. And they never did come back, so they didn't want to be there anyway. They didn't want to be in my classroom anyway. So, and those were just authoritative problems. I tell them to be quiet. They kept talking. I tell them to be quiet again. They kept talking. I threw them out of the class. Security they have to go through security to come back into my classroom. They never did. So if you have problems like that, then you need to take an online class, all right? Because and most of the time, I don't have trouble with people talking. Like I said, 3 times in 25 plus years. And those were all at the Pendleton campus. I haven't had a single problem here at the Anderson campus since I've been here. Any other questions? Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
And I'll go into homework, tests, how I conduct my class with your homework questions, how I do the methods, all that. I'll get into that Thursday. All right, then what do you need to be doing right now? After you leave here, after I take roll today, you need to figure out what kind of supplies you want to bring to class. You go to Walgreens, get you some colored pencils or highlighters. What many? 3 to 5. Make sure you have a pink one because pink is important. A yellow, a green, a blue, make sure you got 5 colors, all right? Or you can get colored pencils, colored pens, whatever you want to use. Pen or pencil, notebook, paper, and calculator. Those are the minimum, okay? That's minimum. Book, I'll show you how to print it out by My Labs Plus. If you get into My Labs Plus, you go to chapter contents, you find the chapter and the section, and you print it out. But I'll show you how to do that Thursday. okay? Or you can go buy and get an old book. You can go to your aunt's house and she took it back in 1992. You can use that book. Because math does not what? Change. Well, it does in K through 12, but we won't go there. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I do teach some odd methods of basic math, you know.
Consent on a few items to continue.
I don't know what that was. I do teach some odd methods like 3 times 42. I teach 3 times 40 and then 3 times 2. I don't tell you to do it long division. So there are some things I agree with the, what's it called? The new math ways, what's it called? Common Core. There are some things I agree with. Now drawing rectangles and doing, no, I never have agreed with that. They showed that to us at Clemson when I was taking math education courses at Clemson. The rectangles with the polynomials, I threw that out the door the first time I saw it, okay? But there are some ways, some of y'all may not use 42 times 3. You may not do the old, that's Common Core, that's using different methods in your brain. And I try to teach both my kids how to do that. They don't listen to me because daddies are stupid, right? Daddies are stupid, they know nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna take the roll, I'm gonna shut off the presentation. I shut that off. Y'all should not be able to see my screen now. And I'm going to shut off the recording. Let me see if I've got anybody with questions. I'm looking. Yep, no questions. I'm going to shut the recording off now.